I've learned over the years that we breathe best where we breathe first. And since I am a native of the beautiful mountainous city of Colorado Springs, today I am breathing very well. I've also learned that when you stand up to speak, to preach, to teach, to lecture, to talk, you want to look everybody in the room in the eye. Even those who are in back of you. Those who are on the side of you. And you do that because every one of them almost decided not to come this morning. And the fact that you're laughing about that is proof that what I'm saying is true. Let me say thank you for being here this morning, and thank you for allowing me to be here this morning. I am grateful to the leadership of Colorado College and to the leadership of Colorado Springs, to all of the distinguished guests, to all of you who mean so much. And I do not think that we can afford to take this moment for granted. This moment that we are gathered here in this space on the campus of Colorado College, sitting at table at meal, is a very important moment. In fact, if we tried to duplicate this moment again tomorrow, it would be impossible. Someone would say, well, I have a meeting, so I won't be able to make it. I have to catch a flight, so I wouldn't be able to make it. Someone would not be here, but the fact that we are in this room is powerful. It's significant. And it suggests that each of us, no matter how small we are or how large we are, how old we are or how young we are, each of us has a role to play. And each of us can ask the question right where we are, what is it that I can do? In fact, since this is the All People's Breakfast and the theme is courageous conversations to courageous actions beyond tolerance, a call to action. Maybe one action can be to take a moment just to allow yourselves to meet each other at the table. I know we've already talked, but do you know the person that is seated next to you? Do you know them by name? So let's just take a moment and do that. Find out the people at your table, their names. Meet somebody at your table. Doesn't that feel good? Not only have you seen a new face, but you also know a new name. That is very powerful. And this also helps us to see that we are all connected. I need you. You need me. We need each other. We need the wisdom and the strength of others. We need to discover the regions of the self that can be revealed to us only by the simple or complex relations that we have with others. Without others, we would not be. Hawk Jun Lee, professor of theology and ethics at Fuller Theological Seminary, in beginning sessions of his ethics class on globalization, gave his usual long lecture on the topic, in which after class, a witty student sent him an email and politely chided his pedagogical ineffectiveness in explaining globalization. "Professor," she said, "the following example is a far simpler account of globalization. Question: what is the truest definition of globalization?" Answer: Princess Diana's death. Question: how come? Answer: an English princess with an Egyptian boyfriend crashes in a French tunnel driving a German car with a Dutch engine driven by a Belgian who was drunk on Scottish whiskey. Followed closely by an Italian paparazzi on Japanese motorcycles treated by an American doctor using Brazilian medicines. And this is sent to you by an American using Bill Gates technology. And you're probably reading this one on IBM clone that used Taiwanese-made chips and a Korean-made monitor assembled by Bangladeshian workers in a Singapore plant, transported by lorries driven by Indians, hijacked by Indonesians, unloaded by Sicilian longshoremen, and trucked by Mexican immigrants. Brothers and sisters, it is to this end that we are gathered here this morning. It is this growing sense of our interconnectedness, a convergence of what it truly means for us to be a beloved community. This weekend we honor and celebrate and learn from our prophet, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man who spoke of the beloved community and caused America to stop, reflect, and dare to dream about what it means to live in that community.